when Shedeur gets his chance, okay, you know, the stuff that people were worried about, the galvanization, the personality of him, the way he galvanizes and does things uniquely, it's absolutely the only chance possible right now because, right, it's too tough now. But that poor young man, it's not Halloween yet.
All the praise for the legend, straight from another legend. Bernie Kosar didn't hold back for a second when he talked about Shedeur Sanders, and it was wild to watch. He couldn't stop hyping up how incredible Shedeur's been while throwing some serious shade at the people upstairs. Bernie basically called out the decision makers for being blind toward Dillon Gabriel's situation. And he didn't sugarcoat a thing. Fans are finally waking up, analysts are switching sides, and the football world is starting to admit what's been obvious all along. Everyone's catching on, except Kevin Stefanski and his crew, who still seem stuck in their messy little plans to keep Shedeur boxed in. This isn't just about football anymore. It's about fairness and respect. Bernie's words hit different because he's been through it. He's a veteran, a man who knows what greatness looks like, and he made it clear, Shedeur's got it. The leadership, the calm under fire, that spark that pulls people together like gravity, that's what Bernie meant when he said Shedeur can galvanize. It's not hype, it's real presence. When Shedeur walks into a locker room, heads turn. When he speaks, people listen. You can feel that hunger, that quiet fire that separates the greats from the ones who just play for stats. Bernie sees it, fans see it, even neutral reporters are starting to nod along. So why is Stefanski pretending not to? Bernie wasn't just complimenting Shedeur, he was sending a warning.
Okay, so he has to stay alive through Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's Day, all right? And that ain't even the playoff.
Or could be a spark that helps the players play better.
So, yeah, but look at, he fires me up. I want to play better.
He's saying this kid is carrying more than just a playbook. He's battling pressure from every angle, from defenses trying to break him, and from the very people who should be protecting him. Bernie's been in those locker rooms. He knows what it's like when politics mess with potential. His message is clear. If the Browns don't wise up fast, they're gonna destroy something special. Why should a young quarterback have to fight two wars, one on the field and one inside his own team? The staff should be building around him, not throwing roadblocks in his path. Bernie basically told Cleveland to stop playing games before they ruin their future. Because when a legend like Bernie Kosar publicly praises Shedeur Sanders, you better believe it means something big. It's not just about potential anymore, it's about proof that's already on the field. Shedeur is showing results every single time he touches the ball, but Stefanski and his staff act like they're blind to it. Why? Is it ego, fear, or straight-up stubborn pride that keeps them from admitting they were wrong? Bernie Kosar's message hit like a wake-up slap. He's reminding everyone that this young man already has everything it takes to flip the Browns' future completely around. If the coaches would just stop holding him back, everything could change. Shedeur doesn't need saving, he just needs a fair shot. And that's the real heartbreak here. The only thing standing between him and greatness are the very people who are supposed to be guiding him. Bernie's basically telling the truth nobody else wants to say. Leadership only works when the ones in charge actually help you win. You can't expect a player to shine when you keep throwing him into bad systems and broken schemes. You can have all the heart in the world, but heart alone doesn't win games when the higher-ups keep setting you up to fail. Bernie's being brutally real when he says Shedeur's got that spark, that raw, contagious fire that makes teammates want to go harder, faster, better.
I'm physically not good enough to beat you, okay? Those players aren't physically good enough to play the teams they're playing, all right? Look at the men that we are playing against, okay? You're not trying, okay? You can fire me up. You do fire me up. I want to fall. I'll run through a wall for him, okay? But look at me. I'm only gonna delay the guy killing you a couple seconds.
He's the type of player who raises everyone's game. But what's the point if the team around him isn't being built to match that same energy. That's the real problem with Cleveland right now. It's not just about skill, it's about structure. Bernie's calling out the ugly truth. No amount of motivation can save a team that's already breaking apart from the inside. And when he says it, it hits deep because he's lived it. He's felt what it's like to give everything for a team that just won't meet you halfway. Let's be real. Bernie's not just talking in the dark here. Every word coming out of his mouth lines up perfectly with what's been happening to Shedeur Sanders. The man's been benched for no solid reason, while the Browns keep stacking up L's like it's part of the game plan. That embarrassing loss to the Patriots, that one should have never happened. Everyone saw the same thing. An offense with no direction, no rhythm, and no spark. And yet somehow, we're still supposed to believe Shedeur wasn't ready? Please. That's just Stefanski's favorite cover story when things fall apart. And don't even get started on the injury talk, the biggest mystery of the season. They said Shedeur couldn't practice, yet days later, he's caught on video throwing darts like nothing ever happened. So who exactly are they trying to fool? How long do they think fans will keep buying this development nonsense while they keep him sidelined and silenced?
And I'll only do that once because I'll be dead. Okay, so it's a personnel issue too. You know, nail in a coffin in Shedeur. You know, because it won't be his fault either.
So you're saying that when Shedeur gets his chance, we shouldn't write him off after 4 or 3, whatever the games is?
No, because
It's wild. Now, after all this chaos, Shedeur's heading back to Colorado. And honestly, who can blame him? When you give your all, show up ready, and still get blocked by your own coach's ego, what's left to prove? Bernie sees right through that mess. He knows Shedeur's got that fire, that passion that turns locker rooms alive. He's the kind of player teammates would literally run through a wall for. Bernie basically believes that once Shedeur finally gets his fair shot, the truth will be impossible to ignore. But here's the harsh part. By the time that happens, the team might already be falling apart around him. And that's exactly what Bernie's warning about. People are so quick to blame the player, but they're ignoring the real problem. An organization that keeps tripping over its own ego. You can't throw a quarterback into a broken system, half the roster injured, players being traded off, morale scraping rock bottom, and then act shocked when it all collapses. Bernie's calling it like it is. The chaos in Cleveland isn't bad luck, it's bad leadership. And then they'll turn around and say he failed. Come on, that's not failure, that's straight up sabotage dressed up as opportunity. This is what Stefanski's been plotting all along, because otherwise none of it makes sense. Bernie's no rookie. The man's seen it all, played through it.
the same issues are still there, and they're probably going to get worse because we're going to trade guys.
Yeah, well,
Okay? Yeah, and the guys are going to get hurt, and they don't come back at the end of the year when you're hurt and, you know, you're injured.
Do you think that,
You know how they get.
Lived it, and he's calling out the same internal rot that keeps eating this team alive from the inside. Even if Shedeur steps in, nothing magically changes overnight. You can't throw him into a storm and expect sunshine. The roster's thin, the chemistry's off, and the locker room feels like it's one bad week away from snapping. Bernie knows it, and here's the wild part. He's already predicting the setup. He's warning that Shedeur's gonna end up taking the blame for everything that's way beyond his control. That's the real nail in the coffin right there. The narrative's already being written before the man even takes a snap. How's a quarterback supposed to thrive when the very people who should have his back are the ones stacking the deck against him? Bernie's not making excuses for Shedeur. He's exposing the truth everyone else is too scared to say out loud. The Browns are laying out a perfect scapegoat situation.
Kevin Stefanski, I don't want to put words in anybody's mouth because no one's told me this, but you have to protect your quarterback. Even if your quarterback, even at the end of my career when I was not as good as I should have been, I did not believe.
So, when things crash, they can point at the player instead of facing their own mess. It's manipulation, plain and simple. And that's why Bernie's words hit so hard. He's trying to stop the team from burying Shedeur's career before it even begins. Because let's be honest, this isn't about performance, it's about protection, and Shedeur's getting none of it. Then Bernie throws in that comparison to Dillon Gabriel, and it stings even more. Gabriel's been handed chances, time after time, But what's he really shown when it counts? He plays it safe, too scared to take the reins when the moment gets heavy. There's no fire, no edge, no leadership that makes teammates rally behind him.
In myself, and when you believe in yourself, even if it's fake, okay, then you at least have a chance to do something with it, okay? And the belief of that, you know, of trying to get them into the game, Mike Vrabel knew it. And it wasn't because Mike Vrabel was a coach here last year. Okay, that's Belichick, Saban, that's the NFL, okay?
You can't fake confidence, and you sure can't fake that presence that makes people believe in you. That's what Bernie's talking about. Real leadership, the kind that Shedeur naturally brings, while others are just following the script. He plays like a man scared to make a mistake instead of a man trying to win. That's the real difference between Shedeur Sanders and Dillon Gabriel. Mindset. Shedeur's built for chaos. He thrives in pressure, keeps his head cool, and still finds a way to lead when everything's falling apart. Just look at his college career. The stats, the poise, the comebacks, it's all there. Meanwhile, Gabriel folds the moment things get uncomfortable. You could hand him the perfect playbook, the strongest O-line, and he'd still look like he's second-guessing every move. That's not leadership. That's just surviving until someone better shows up. And that's exactly where both Gabriel and Kevin Stefanski completely miss the plot. Gabriel doesn't have the arm talent, the burst, or the vision to make the big-time throws Bernie's talking about. He's predictable. Defenses know what's coming before he even snaps the ball. When the play breaks down, he freezes like a statue. You can't hide behind a scripted game forever. Eventually, you need a quarterback who can make something out of nothing. But Stefanski's coaching scared too. He's calling plays like he's terrified to trust his own guy. The offense looks like it's running through wet cement. No rhythm.
If the quarterback doesn't have the tools around him, okay, there's hard and firm rules that he can't be successful. And then you could overcome sometimes some of the lack of separation from us DBs and being able to do that if you've got the Justin Aber, Dan Marino, okay, Josh Allen firearm where you could rocket it up. Because in the old school games at Don Shula, Bear Bryant, Paul Brown, they did this back scientifically, and versions of this still happen.
No spark, just confusion. It's like he's babysitting the quarterback instead of letting him lead. And that's the wild part. His grudge against Shedeur has turned into full-on sabotage. You can't run an NFL offense like that and expect anything but mediocrity. Meanwhile, there's Shedeur, young, confident, and ready. He's got the mechanics, the timing, and that lightning-quick decision-making that makes defenses panic. Those 2.7-second release throws Bernie mentioned, that's Shedeur's game. He processes the field faster, reads defenses smoother, and never hesitates to take a shot downfield. He's not scared to throw. He wants the pressure. Yet somehow, Stefanski's keeping him on the bench while Gabriel leads what might be the dullest, most lifeless offense in the league. It's not just bad coaching anymore, it's self-sabotage in plain sight. Actually, it's not somehow at all.
And right now, the Browns and the players need to be self-prepared.
They are not.
And the organization. And unfortunately, like even in the spot I'm in, I'm having to be really selfish to get myself healthy, and then I hope someone learns and could benefit, and I'm going to give that to you. Well, right now, this is it's not even hollow.
We know exactly why Stefanski's doing this to Shedeur, and it's a total joke. The real question now is, what are the Browns waiting for? How many more games need to slip away before someone upstairs finally admits Gabriel just isn't that guy? How many more underthrown passes, missed reads, and lifeless drives do fans have to sit through before somebody stands up and says, enough is enough? Why is Shedeur still sitting out in Colorado when it's clear as day he's got the exact tools Bernie's been talking about? The same tools this team's been missing all season. Why is the coach still protecting mediocrity instead of building something explosive around real, raw talent that's ready to shake up the league? Fans see it, analysts see it, even former players see it. Yet somehow, Gabriel still gets a free pass while dragging the entire offense down with him. Stefanski keeps repeating that tired line. Shedeur's not ready. Ready for what exactly? Ready to carry the same team Gabriel's been sinking week after week? It's absurd. Bernie already laid out the truth. This game is about speed, accuracy, and guts, and Shedeur's got all three in his DNA.
Wean yet, and where everybody's in preservation mode.
Yeah.
You know, no matter what they say, they're in preservation mode. And I know we want to kind of get to...
Meanwhile, Gabriel's out there moving like he's still in preseason. The fans are the ones paying the price for this nonsense, watching a team with real potential waste another season in slow motion. Bernie's calling it like it is. The Browns aren't losing because of talent, they're losing because their coach refuses to admit the obvious. At this point, it's not even about football anymore. It's about pride, power, and politics inside that Cleveland locker room. Bernie's trying to open eyes, but Stefanski's doubling down like he's protecting an image instead of a franchise. The fans aren't blind. They can see what's happening right in front of them. Every week, the Browns walk onto that field with the same stale game plan, the same predictable rhythm, and the same results. Disappointment after disappointment. You can feel the tension building, players whispering, fans posting receipts, analysts dragging the coaching staff on live TV. Everyone's wondering the same thing. What's the real reason Shedeur's not in uniform? Because it's sure not performance. He's healthy, hungry, and ready. And even legends like Bernie Kosar are saying it loud for the world to hear. The Browns have a star sitting right there, and instead of unleashing him, they're locking him away behind excuses and fake development talk. And here's the craziest part, the locker room knows. Word spreading that players are losing faith in the system. Some of them are quietly saying they're tired of watching potential go to waste while the same mistakes repeat every Sunday. That's how locker rooms break, how morale dies, and how teams crumble from the inside. Bernie's not just warning the front office, he's practically begging them to wake up before this whole thing implodes. Because once the fans turn, once that stadium starts booing louder than cheering, there's no coming back. Cleveland's got a ticking time bomb in their hands, and the only way to defuse it is to finally let Shedeur Sanders lead this team like he was born to.
The quarterbacks and to the offense and to the play calling and that. And give me some leeway on what comes out of my mouth and stuff because of some of the stuff I'm going through, so I don't really have the...
Bernie said what? He straight up called it. No one inside the Browns organization has the guts to admit it. This team isn't playing to win, they're just playing to survive. And until that weak mindset changes, no quarterback, not even someone with Shedeur's talent, can truly shine. Every fan watching knows Bernie's not lying. He's just saying what everyone else is too scared to say out loud. So what do you think? Is Bernie right about Cleveland being stuck in survival mode? Drop your thoughts below, hit that like button if you stand with Shedeur, and don't forget to subscribe, share, and stay locked in for more real talk on what's really happening inside the Browns camp. See you on the next one.